we're going to start good with a coffee attack. All right, the NBA championship is on tonight. Players do in the lineup, starting lineups for the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Christian Porzingis. In both games, Jason Tatum wasn't the highest scoring. He is a player to watch out for. But Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday were the leading scorers in those two games. Luka Doncic is a player to watch out for. He's been racking up points, but not racking up wins. Maybe it's just too much guy on his hand. I think the Mavericks find a way to grab one of the games tonight, and I think the Mavericks find a way to win one game of this one series out of 5. Boston wins it at 5. I think that game's tonight. I think they find scoring. I think they find another player to contribute other than Luka Doncic. I think that would be the key for them to win. NHL. The NHL will continue tomorrow night on Thursday. Panthers grabbed a 2-0 lead on Monday. More on that tomorrow. Rashid Rice on accidents just happened. Now we go over the MLB from last night. The Royals get pumped. Royals losing 10-1. Tonight they'll get another shot at the Yankees. It will be Cody Porter against Dan Alutov. Royals going to use the opener here, it looks like, which I think is a good strategy for a team that doesn't have. It's kind of seeming to lose their depth at starting pitching and maybe having a 6th starter in there after Micah Walker goes down. But he said it should be speedy recovery and faster than normal, it seems to be. But it seems like the Royals are going with the opener. And the Cubs and Rays met up last night. The Cubs beat the Rays 5-2. In Wednesday's game, it'll be the Cubs and Rays go at it again. Javier Arced will go for the Cubs and Aaron Clav will go for the Rays. Same time, 5:50 to try to get the series even. For the Rays, the Cubs try to take the series. The Cardinals play the Pirates. The Cardinals lost yesterday's game 2-1. Tonight, the Cardinals will play the Pirates. Billy Falter will go for the Pirates, and Sonny Gray will go for the Cardinals. Game time again, 6:45. And that's it for baseball. On to NASCAR. Tony Stewart is out of NASCAR racing for this year at the end of the year. If I reported this, I would have no idea what the hell I was talking about, so I'm not going to report it. It is certainly out of my realm.
It's time. And we're live in 3, 2, 1.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their they're cold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun.
They'll knock you round and upside down.
And he'll laugh when he's conquered and won.
Raider Nation, stand up.
Who will beat the Chiefs? Well, Antonio Pierce raises his hand and said, in fact, the Raiders have laid out the blueprint. Take a listen. They did beat
I think recipe was the exact.
Who's last time to beat the Chiefs?
Oh.
Come on, man. These dudes, you know what I mean? Like, they did that.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's cool. Like I told them, like, we're running back. We'll see them again. They got to see us. We got to see them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we already given the recipe of how to do it.
Okay. All right. Here was the recipe. And also, shout out to Max Crosby for wearing Raiders gear. I like that. Mahomes would not blitz. So basically, they got to Mahomes without blitzing. That was the recipe.
No, that
well, what's he talking about? I asked Josh what was the recipe, and this is what he came up with. So now you got beef with Antonio Pierce and Josh. Josh, you're on the board.
Yes,
Christina, can you get a headshot of Josh for the board?
Yeah, okay. No, Josh is not on the board.
Well?
All right, listen. So this is obviously ludicrous on its face. And because the recipe, no team is going to be able to duplicate the following. 2 defensive scores in 7 seconds. And was part of the recipe not completing a pass for 3 quarters, which the Raiders did in that game. And it is very rare. I have a take, I believe, in my bones, but I'm afraid to say on the air.
Oh, wow.
But I had a take about this specific game that I told Wilds in his office the day after.
It is not.
And
I'm going to say I've heard thousands of takes.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't crack the top 1,000.
Okay.
It's almost in another category of like, I don't know, but
okay.
You might be right.
Here is
It's an amazing
here
take.
is the recipe.
It's an amazing take.
Christmas morning. With small children. I didn't want to say it on the air because the Chiefs
I
at that
thought you
point
did. Maybe
had
you said it
lost
in the break.
5 of 9 or
'Cause I heard
something,
it.
and everyone thought that I was looking for excuses and doubting the team as opposed to knowing they would never lose again, which is what ended up happening.
Correct.
But Christmas morning with small children and his wife, Mahomes' wife, wanting him to still do a Christmas routine with Santa and all of the above, I think threw off everything about that football game. And so with respect to Antonio Pierce
take.
and the Raiders, well, if you're the road team, you can't do it. If you're the home team, you almost have to do it. And the guy who showed up the most with not looking like himself was Patrick Mahomes, who
Exhausted.
has, a 4-year-old.
Yeah, he was putting together a huge play set.
Exactly right. Any parent on
3 in the
Christmas
morning.
morning, that's one of your first Christmases where the kid's really into Santa the whole night. So the idea that this is the recipe, the blueprint. We have heard this too many times, Brew. And what we know is there is no blueprint. If a team briefly stumbles upon it, there was a time when it was, Vic Fangio and the cover 2 and play soft.
Right.
And then Mahomes started throwing shorter passes than anyone in the league and winning MVPs and Super Bowls that way. So no, this is obviously absurd. And no, they
You see those 2 videos, we report on the NFL schedule of the Raiders. The Raiders start their NFL preseason Minnesota Vikings August 10th at 11 PDT. I think that's the right time. We skip all the way to week 1 at the Chargers. Raiders-Chargers. Game time 3:05 p.m. Central Time. 1:05 back in LA. Week 2, it'll be the Ravens 10 PDT loss for the Raiders. Week 3, Carolina Panthers, I'm taking to win. Week 4, Cleveland Browns, I'm picking a maybe. Week 5, Denver Broncos, at Denver Broncos, maybe. Week 6, Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe. Week 7, Los Angeles Rams, loss. Week 8, Kansas City Chiefs, loss. Week 9, Bengals. Week 10, bye. Week 11, Miami Dolphins. Week 12, Denver Broncos. Week 13, at Kansas City Chiefs. Week 14, at Buccaneers. Week 15, Falcons. Week 16, Jacksonville Jaguars. Week 17, at New Orleans Saints. Week 18, host the Chargers. Win. Some primetime games for the Raiders. Highlighted games. Friday at 2, Chiefs host the Raiders, and Monday Night Football, Raiders Falcons. Here's the schedule. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam's Sports Report.